In this class, we are going to understand about method overloading. Okay, what do you mean by method overloading? That is, two or more methods having same name with different signatures is method overloading. Okay, so I repeat once again, two or more methods having same name with different signatures is what? Method overloading. Now we have to understand what do you mean by signature of the method. So this is what first of all we are going to focus on. Okay, so let us understand what do you mean by signature of method. Let me write one method here. Let's say that void, I'll say what, sum of, I can write here integer x comma integer y. Okay, this is what a method. Let us assume that this is the method. Okay, in this particular method, what is the signature? What does the signature comes under? Okay, this part of the method comes under what? Signature of method. Okay, this is what we called as signature of method. Okay, the signature of method consists of two things. Okay, signature consists of two things again. Okay, now what first one is number of arguments. Okay, let's say that number of arguments. Number two is data types of arguments. Okay, data types of arguments, these two. Okay, so number of arguments and data type of arguments is called as what? Signature of method, and this particular part of the method is called as what? Signature. Is it okay? Fine. Now in this particular case, what are the number of arguments? In this particular sum method, you can see that two arguments are there. One is x, next one is y. Therefore 2 is the number of arguments. Okay, then what are the data types of arguments? The data types of arguments is nothing but what? Integer and integer. Therefore it is integer and what? Integer. Okay, this is what we call as signature of methods. Do you understand now? So this part of the method is called as signature, and the signature of method consists of two things. One is number of arguments and data types of arguments. Okay, now let me copy paste this particular thing here. Let me come over here. Okay, this is what we call as signature of the method. Okay, so therefore a class can have two or more methods same name. We can give inside the class, we can give two or more methods same name, provided the signatures of the method should be what? Different. And this particular thing is called as what? Method overloading. Okay, so let us take an example. Let us take an example and we will study. So in this particular sample project on the SRC, I am going to right click and select one new and what class? I am taking a new class. I am taking, let's say that main PRG. Okay, and I am adding what? Main method. Okay, fine, finish. Now let me explain here. So it is possible that, see, I'm going to write a class here. Class, let me say that math class. Okay, let's say math class. This is a mathematics class I'm writing. Now in this particular class, what I'm doing is public, okay, public void, let us say that sum of integer x comma integer y. Okay, then I'm going to write sys out. What is that? Is sum is equal to plus x plus y. Okay, this is what. So this is what I have written, one method called as sum is equal to x plus y. Okay, now sum with how many arguments? Two arguments, and with what? Integer data type. Okay, this is one method I have written. Now I am going to write another method but with a different signature, that is what? Integer z now. Okay, integer z. So what is happening here? This is what we call as two arguments. Okay, two arguments, that is what? Integer comma integer method. Integer method. Okay, that is what I am writing the signature of the method here. Okay, now what is this signature of method? This is three arguments. Okay, three arguments method, that is what? Integer comma what I say is integer method. So here see integer and integer. Okay, so as the two methods, see this method having what? Integer signature, this method is having what? Integer signature. So as the signatures are different, as the signatures of these two methods are different, therefore these two methods can have what? Same name. And the process of giving the two or more methods same name is called as what? Method overloading. Okay, so therefore let me say write one more method here. Let me say one more method here. I am going to write double. Now the data type I am going to change here. This is what we call as double. Okay, double. Now what is this method is all about? This is also two arguments method. Okay, 2 arguments method. But what kind of method it is? Double comma double method. Okay, this is what double method. So this is also 2 arguments method. This is also 2 arguments method. But the difference between this method and this method is the difference in data types. This is integer integer, and this is what double and what double. So these two methods are difference in number of arguments, 2 arguments and 3 arguments. But when we come to these two methods, difference in what? Data types of arguments. Got it clear, right? So like this, what happens is 2 or more methods can have same name provided their signature should be different. That is, the method should differ either in number of arguments or differ in what? Data type of arguments. Okay, so this is what is the meaning of this particular thing. See, method should differ either in, see, in method overloading, method should differ either in number of arguments or data type of arguments, otherwise error. For example, let's say that now I am removing this third argument. See, when I remove this argument, immediately I am getting an error. See, this is an error I am getting because the two method signature is what? Same. Okay, so this is what happens. Control Z. Okay, so what finally I can say about method overloading means giving common names to the methods. Okay, so giving common names to methods is the concept of method overloading, but the condition is method signature should be different. That is the condition. Okay, now I create an object to the math class. Let's say that I create an object to the math class new of, what is that? Math class. And I create some variables. Integer a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to 30. Okay, then I create some double variables. d1 is equal to 1.1, okay, 1.1, and d2 is equal to 2.2. let's say that. Okay, now what I would like to do is I would like to call this particular method now. Okay, so let me remove some spaces, extra spaces here, right, so that now, okay, now complete screen we can see at a time, right? Now I'm going to write ob dot object dot, I'm going to call what? Sum of a comma b. Okay, a comma b. Now which method it is going to call now? It is going to call which method? See, sum inside this particular class there are 3 methods are there, sum, and sum, 3 methods having same name. How the Java compiler is going to identify the actual method it should execute? Okay, so it is going to call a method with what? Integer comma integer. Why? Because here a and b belongs to which data type? A and b belongs to what? Integer data type. Therefore sum with integer argument it is going to call. So this method it is going to call over here. Okay, so let me show you that particular thing. Okay, now it is going to call this particular method. Okay, so where a and b values are passed to x and y, and x plus y, nothing but 10 plus 20, it is going to print on the monitor as 30. Okay, next, now I am going to call one more method, ob dot sum of a comma b comma c. I am going to write now a comma b comma c. Now in this case, which method is going to call? Now how many arguments you are passing? 2 arguments you are, 3 arguments you are passing. Therefore now sum with 3 parameters will be executed. Very simple here. So therefore sum with a data type is integer, b data type is integer, c data type is integer. Okay, like this sum with abc integer arguments will be called. Therefore what I can say that okay, now I can say that here this is going to call this particular method, it is going to call. Okay, therefore a b c values nothing but 10 20 30 pass it to x y z, and it will print on the monitor here. Okay, what is that? Answer is x plus y plus z. I am going to write. Okay, so it is going to add 3 numbers. Now finally I am going to call one more method, ob dot sum of d1 comma d2. I am going to write. Now in this case, which method is going to call? How the Java compiler is going to identify? Sum method with what? d1 with d2. d1 d2 belongs to which data type, please? Double data type. Therefore it is going to call sum with double, and what? Double it is going to call. So therefore in this case now it is going to call which method? This is the method that it is going to call. Okay, so d1 d2 values, that is 1.1 and 2.2, will be passed to the x and y, and will calculate and prints on the monitor. Okay, so therefore let me run the program here. So let me save the program. Let me save the program and run the program here. Just I run the program. So when I run the program, I got the answer. This is what you can see the answer side by side. I would like to show you. So okay, this side, let me show you the answer. Right. Okay, whatever it may be. So this is the program that I'm getting. Fine. Right. This is the output that I'm getting. So let us see this, please. Okay, fine. Okay, first sum is what? 30, and second one is what? 60, and third one is what? This particular thing. This is what we call as method overloading. Okay, do you understand, please? I repeat once again. Two or more methods can have same name provided their signature should be different, and this particular concept is known as what? Method overloading. Okay, method overloading. Right, sir, why we have to give a common name, sir? Means now the programmer need not to remember different names here. See, so to add two integers or three integers or two double values, okay, for addition of these particular different values, the user has to remember only one name. So one name he is using to add what? Different numbers. Therefore to the programmer it becomes very easy to remember the methods for performing different types of calculations. Okay, so this for this particular purpose two methods can have what? Same name. So for addition for addition purpose we cannot use different names. We can use what? Same name. In C language actually this is not allowed. In C language we have to give different names like add, sum, and someone, like this. We have to give unusual names. Okay, now to the programmer it is difficult to remember that add function name should be used for what? Adding the two numbers. Sum is used for what? Adding the three integers, like this. Okay, another function name for what? Adding the double, like this. Okay, we have to remember different function names, although these functions are is doing the same calculation, that is what? Addition of numbers. So instead of giving these unusual names for performing the same type of calculation, so Java allows to give common names. So therefore for the end user only one name need to be remembered for doing calculations on different types of values. Okay, so this is what called as method overloading. Okay, so when we come to the notes, let me show you the notes here. So what is this method overloading? Method overloading is one of the examples of polymorphism. So already we have discussed in the features of OOP class where we understood polymorphism. Polymorphism means one thing having many forms or many behaviors is called as what? Polymorphism. Therefore method overloading is polymorphism. Okay, because one method name is performing three types of calculations, that is addition of two integers, okay, addition of three integers, addition of two double values. So one common name is performing three different types of calculations or operations. Therefore it is called as what? Polymorphism. One thing having many forms or behaviors. Okay, so therefore method overloading is one of the examples of polymorphism, right? So this is what the example that we have seen here. This is the two argument method, like this three arguments method. This is what two argument methods, but difference in what? Integers and double. Got it? Right. This is the program that we have wrote now. But the important point that we have to note in method overloading, let us understand with the example. Let us say here, please. Let us say okay. Now what happens is, let us say that suppose this is what I am giving integer. Here I am giving what? Double. Okay, double. And what happens here? It is this is what I am now changing. Okay, the code I am going to return. Okay, let's say that I am going to return some kind of let's say that double z is equal to x plus y plus z. Okay, it's not z. Suppose result is equal to x plus y, and return what? Result. Let me say that. Okay, let me write here. So this is one right, double answer. And here also I write the code. See, I also write the code, the same code that I am going to write here. Please see, this is the code that I am going to write. Now when I write this code, it is giving error. Why it is giving error? See, this two method signature is what? This two method signature is same, but difference in what? Return types. This is return types. Return type does not comes under signature. Okay, so as these two methods having the same signature, therefore it gives what? Error. Okay, let us say, for example, now I change the signature. You can see that immediately error is gone. Okay, so the thing here it is, methods with the same signature with different data types can't have what? Same method names. Means these two methods cannot be overloaded. This is an error. Okay, this is what I am explaining here. Methods with same signature and different return types is error. So for example, if you consider this particular method, okay, two parameters, this is also two parameters, but difference in what? Return type leads to what? Error. So this is error. Methods have same signature. Okay, so this is what that you have to remember. Okay, fine.